we'll just change this briefly for tonight, although I'd be shocked if anyone contributes at all.
So, of course, after nearly a full day of having no internet, when the internet does come back on at around 8 p.m. Pacific time, one of the very first things that we hear the guy talk about is how, oh, geez, I'd honestly be surprised if anybody supported. Not sure where that came from, but we're going to keep account of just how many times he says that throughout this video. I won't be playing the full hour and a half-ish, stream that he did, but there are some highlights, and so I want to go ahead and point those out as we move along here.
Seriously, I'd be shocked if anyone contributes at all tonight, which really sucks because we were 2 goals away from hitting DSP Tries It, which I wanted to do tomorrow.
Yes, he won't be getting his food, or so he seems to say now.
Wanted to do it tomorrow because that was going to be perfect. We'll talk about this in a second. But, my wife works tomorrow, and the whole idea was we hit the goals today. Tomorrow we could order the Chick-fil-A and have it after the first stream, and my wife doesn't have to cook. But now it looks like everything's screwed up because of Comcast. Well,
Not everything is screwed up because of Comcast. Again, I will keep repeating this. I will die on this hill. If he would count the Smark Guys money, which I don't understand just because he has to share it with the other guy, whatever amount they make, I don't understand why they can't divide it by 2. And that is the money that he makes. He made $300 and some last week during that show that they did together. So he is already at, does it say 78 out of 60? Okay, well, whatever. But he is already at 80 right now. So all of this begging and this crying and this carrying on, I'm sorry, he might not decide that he's going to count the Smark Guys money, but I am, and he's at 80. And apparently 80 out of 60. Good job.
really, because it really wasn't their fault. I'll tell you in a second. So anyway, the internet was down this morning.
You are going to be amazed at how the internet being out all day fucked up this man's whole day.
I'm like, I wonder what the heck's going on. So I open up all my stuff, and basically I've gotten multiple emails and texts, both from Comcast this morning, stating that there is a giant outage in my area. It's not even just small. It's like several cities and towns and things near me, tons of zip codes, something like 10 different zip codes had no internet this morning. Now, this happened several years ago. And back then, the report was that it was vandalism.
He says several years, and he'll tell the story again. He tells the story several times. He says several years ago, implying more than a couple, or he'd say a couple. And when he says it again later on, you'll notice he says a couple of years ago or 2 years ago. So was it several or was it a couple? Which one are we doing here?
Okay, someone had gone up on a pole and just cut the internet lines. And I'm like, well, that's awful, obviously. And there's not much that you could do about that. But, that was years ago. And basically everyone was out of internet for a day. And by the way, there was no compensation or anything given for it. Just everyone had no internet for a day. And I remember the same thing kind of happened where I couldn't stream and everyone was disappointed.
What kind of compensation are you looking for, sir? The internet goes down, the internet goes down. I'm not sure quite what you want here, but way to look like a big entitled baby.
And basically, guess what? The same thing has happened. Someone vandalized the cable lines somewhere in my state, and because of that, everyone lost internet for a day. So now I have to ask the question, right? If it happened once, and it was just a random thing, okay, I kind of get it. But now it's happened again. This is a whole other day where everyone in my state lost internet because someone is committing vandalism. So is Comcast actually going to do something about it this time?
Number one, it doesn't matter whether or not they do something about it. What the fuck are you going to do? You're going to sit there and you're going to take it because you go on to complain later that there's nowhere else good for you to go. So stop puffing out your chest and trying to act all big and bad because you're not going to do shit about fuck. Number two, you're like, oh, this keeps happening. Didn't you say several years ago? Do you even know what you're talking about right now?
Or we're going to pretend like we just trust that people won't keep doing it You know what I mean? Like, at this point, you have to think, are they ever going to have redundancies to stop so that if someone cuts an internet line, everyone's internet doesn't go out in the state? Are they ever going to make it so that there's protection?
Wait, you didn't say it was the whole state. You said there was several zip codes. It's not the whole state. Whole state, just a few little places. What? I mean, I don't even know where he's getting this information from. Is any of it even correct? We don't fucking know.
So someone can't just climb a pole and cut an internet line? Because at this point, it's getting ridiculous. You know, one time is the freak occurrence. All right, now we've got to repeat. So now what's going to happen is you're going to get endless amounts of copycats who are going to be like, oh, I could just disrupt the whole state just because I can. I'm going to do it. And they're going to start doing this shit. So they better fucking get on this shit before they get sued into oblivion, because I hate to tell them, but they have to provide the service that they're contracted to provide. Doesn't matter if someone's a vandal or not. If this happens more often, they will get sued.
They most absolutely will not. They will absolutely not be sued. This is ludicrous. This is one for the little delusional counter right here. They are providing the service. There are freak acts of nature that happen. So this is absolutely a wild take that you have. People are going to sue because the internet goes down for a day. Yeah, I'd like to see how many of those cases make it to court. Again, put your chest away. Stop acting all big and all bad. Somebody better fucking do something. Well, why don't you go do something about it then? Go on, big balls. Go do something about it.
And then they're going to lose a ton of money.
They're not going to lose any money. Because again, you go on to say, well, there's no other service that I can go to. So you're going to shut the fuck up and you're going to keep paying your bill. That's what you're going to do. Because it's called shit happens. Nice little victory sip. He's so right. He's so smart.
Anyway, so this morning, I have no internet. And I'm like, well, this really sucks. Let me think what I should or shouldn't do. Okay? So I'm thinking in my head, let's say I get no internet all day. What could I do today? And I start running things through my head. Well, today is actually payday. I'm supposed to get paid by YouTube today. Did I?
This is, again, something else. I have to throw this in here. This is absolutely crazy. Yes, it was the 21st yesterday, which is the day that YouTubers get paid. Why wouldn't you get paid just because you don't have internet in Washington? It doesn't interrupt anything being direct deposited, but I like how he, just for a second here, he does go on to say that he does get paid, but there's a little bit of fear mongering happening right here. Oh no, did I get paid? Why would you think that because you don't have internet, you don't get paid? Half of the fucking country didn't shut down, bro. A couple cities didn't have internet for 12 hours. You gonna be all right, I promise.
The good news is I do have internet on my phone because it's satellite internet, you know, the cell phone internet. And I jump on there. It's not great, by the way. It actually, it's very, very finicky. And
very finicky, but he was posted on Twitter all fucking day. He was posted on YouTube all fucking day. But yep, very finicky. I'm sure if we look at the streak of logins for WWE Champions, I'm sure he was able to do whatever it was. He said something earlier about checking his email. So kind of sounds like he was doing just fine. Anyway, I want to go ahead and jump around to some other things that I think are a little bit more interesting. Let's go on ahead and go there now.
Look at that. It's a slow fade if I do it that way.
I don't know why you would want your whole display to be shown like this. You can see that's like a metal rack over there in the back, and all the wires and all the just garbage and the nonsense. I just don't, there's two keyboards, 2 or 3 different mice. There's a laptop. I mean, this looks, somebody commented on one of my videos earlier today that talked about how awful this looks, and they said, it looks like the dude just moved in and half of his shit is in a box in a different room and he's not sure where it is. 16 years. Okay, not all here, but 11 years. Looks like the dude just moved in like last Thursday. But we're going to get on to the next thing I want to talk about, which is, of course, what I believe might be the newest gimmick, feet and socks.
The new wide angle shot. So with the wide angle shot, you can now see my legs, which you never could see before, right? They were never visible. But now with this wide angle shot, people were weirded out because they said we could see your feet. And they noticed that my feet were bare. They were like, dude, you don't have anything on your feet. You're barefoot. And I was like, yeah, I seriously always stream barefoot. I always have. It's just this thing. Like, I don't usually wear socks indoors. I wear slippers for when I walk around the house, but I don't wear socks. So people were like, dude, you can't be showing off your feet on stream. You got to get socks. So I did. So I ordered a whole bunch of socks that arrived today. And here's the first one. You ready? Look at that. Look at that. I told you I have giant feet. Look at the size of this thing. It's like a giant, it's like a fish, like a marlin flopping out of the water. Look at it. So look at this sock right here. You like that sock?
The man got so upset that people were ridiculing him about seeing his feet that he ran to Amazon and bought socks. And he's going to tell you about all the different kind of socks. And to me, it just sounds vest streaky, fishing lure. It just kind of sounds like there might be something to this.
Like, how about this one? You like this sock? Yeah.
Looks the same as the other one, dickhead.
You like them? There you go. So I got 3 different sets of socks, 2 of which had bamboo threads. These actually are the bamboo threads, one of them. Okay, these are short. These only go just around the ankle. I got ones that go a little bit higher than these. And then I also got merino wool socks. All right? And these are very basic. You saw they look a little nice, but they're kind of basic. I have ones that are crazy colors. I got a pack that's like rainbow-ass colors, like blue and green and orange and bright color. You'll see.
I don't know what color rainbow ass is supposed to look like. I'm not entirely sure that I want to know. But again, this sounds like all the different vests and all the different hats. And for a Super Bowl thing one time, he was talking about all the different jerseys and all the different fishing lures. Again, I don't know, but I can kind of feel like we're going down a road we've been down quite a few times before.
When I start wearing these, all right? So, yeah, so now when I go to my widescreen shot, you'll be able to see my socked foot under here. Instead of seeing my disgusting bare foot, you'll see socks every day, okay? So I hope that I will not disgust all of you here on my streams now because I bought some socks. So I washed them. I threw them all into the wash and dryer. I washed them and did all that today, okay?
Wow, good for you. You did some laundry. You're almost like a big boy.
What else did I do? I did something else too. I'm trying to...
Can't even remember what he did today.
So, second half of the day, my wife came home and we had turkey tacos where she seasoned some ground turkey and we have it in a soft taco shell with shredded lettuce, a Mexican blend cheese mix, a little bit of chipotle sauce.
Okay, I don't care too much about the food, but I do just want to note here, first of all, big ups to chipotle sauce. And he had no internet today, which means he couldn't work today. Couldn't stream today. Want you to know, she still came home and made dinner. Just putting that out into the universe.
You know, and and shredded lettuce, you wrap it up. It's good. Delicious. So that's what we had for dinner. Now, the bummer here is that I doubt in the next hour that I'm streaming, we're going to hit a goal tonight, which means we're still at 78 out of 80.
You're at 80 out of 80, but go on.
To hit the goal and qualify for DSP Tries It for Chick-fil-A. And you guys were excited for Chick-fil-A. You were like, yeah, I hope that you're going to try the sides, like the mac and cheese. I hope you'll try one of the shakes. And I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure they're super excited that you get to eat something. I'm sure they're just stoked
to try both the grilled and the regular chicken. But it looks like we're probably not going to hit it now. I mean, why would we hit it the next hour? It would be, a fucking shocking thing if we did. But we need 2 more goals. So chances are we're not hitting it. Remember, Smark Guys does not count towards those goals because Smark Guys is a separate show that's between myself and Ashton where we share the profits and everything.
I thought he might go back on this, given that he did hit 1 goal on this. He got 150, but he didn't get anything for the morning because obviously he didn't stream. So with it being 79 or really 81, I thought maybe he would go back on that, and maybe he will today because as of making this video, he hasn't started the show yet because it's 8 o'clock in the morning where he is. So he's still sleeping right now because baby boy had a late night begging for money. So I thought for sure that he would maybe go back on it, but no, he is holding firm at he will not count this money toward the goal.
So it's not going to be, it's not going to be counting towards it. So unless we hit 2 goals tonight, we're not doing DSP tries it tomorrow. And I don't think we're hitting $300 the next hour. So it looks like it's going to have to wait until later in the week. It is what it is. It sucks. I got robbed, basically.
Got robbed, but if he would count that money that he's already made, he wouldn't have gotten robbed. So this is something he's choosing to do. If it's something that you're choosing to do, you're not getting robbed. You could be a little bit more fair about this, especially to the people who have given you the money.
I got robbed, basically, by not by Comcast, but whoever this vandal is who's climbing the lines. And let me tell you, I have a few ideas of who this vandal is. People have come up with all kinds of ideas. One person says, I think it's Review Tech USA. Dickers himself is climbing the lines to try to screw you over. Some people think it's Duty. Duty streams. They think he's the one doing it, right?
This is some of the stupidest shit of all the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I know that this is an attempt to be funny. It's just yet another one that isn't very good nor funny. I'm not even sure I want to critique it, but to critique it would be to take it seriously. I don't think either of these gentlemen give half a fuck about you. And again, I know, for the lulz, for the joke, but you talk about Duty like he's some kind of piece of shit where he would just wither away and die without you making your content. So if we're going by your logic, your idiot logic, why would he want to take your internet away? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know about Review Tech. I don't know much about Rich and therefore won't speak to it a great deal, but I highly doubt he gives half a flying fuck about you, bro.
So yeah, but yeah, there's stuff going on, but right now I don't even know what I'm going to be doing with my normal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Zach just did a $10 super chat. He says, Phil, I'm loving the foot cam. If you consider doing a donation goal to take off your socks and put on fun socks, would love to see those footsies during a heated Street Fighter 6 session. Perhaps if you contribute tonight, all right, I will go widescreen and I will change my socks for you. Because let me tell you, I have some crazy looking socks now. I've got bright blue, dark blue, green, various shades of green, orange, red. I'm serious. I have weird socks now, like really weird. I have merino wool socks that have patterns on the top. They're crazy stuff. So if you contribute tonight, maybe you'll see some socks.
Just like, when if you gave him a certain amount of money, he would put on a vest or a silly hat. Now we've got silly, crazy socks.
How about that? How about if you get me to the goal tonight? Get me to the goal tonight, we'll get some sockage. Maximum sockage. What do you think about that?
He does get to the goal. The first goal, anyway. I know he wanted 2. I know he wanted 300, but he did hit 150. And as far as I know, the socks were not changed.
Instead of this boring foot right here, you'll get some maximum sockage. Okay.
I'm sorry, everybody. Feel free to pause for a minute and throw up. Do what you got to do.
Thank you, Zach, for the $10 super chat.
Yeah, thanks, weirdo.
Hold on.
I just want to throw this in that someone asks him if he's going to do a Super Bowl stream. I have to throw this in because it's just too fucking good not to. Could be playing a game right now, by the way. Could still do Street Fighter. He streamed for 2 hours. That's all the gameplay you ever get out of him anyway. He could have played something. Just, again, throwing it out, inserting it into the universe. Look at this fucking tool.
The first Super Bowl special was pretty hyped 2 years ago because I had never done anything for the Super Bowl before. And it was exciting. I ate a variety of like foods that you would eat at like a tailgate party.
Tell me you're not based on gimmicks without telling me you're not based on gimmicks. Again, the vest, the hats, well, the vests, the hats. Look at these nice little outfits. Yikes.
and I got pretty drunk on the stream. I actually had 2 cans of beer attached to this helmet, and I actually had.
If you're expecting anybody to believe you got drunk off of 2 beers, fucking bruh. Anything short than like a fifth of vodka is not gonna just bother you at all. This, what you're seeing right here, is an example of somebody with no shame. No shame. He'll wiggle his feet in your face, he'll burp, crack a fart, dress up for you. He'll do anything. He'll do anything for a buck. And I gotta tell you, it feels, what's the word? I'm like, I have like secondhand embarrassment. I'm feeling the embarrassment for him that he should be feeling, but just simply isn't. When did he sell his soul? I'm not entirely sure.
No, there's no game that I like to play in my off time, because in my off time, I try not to play games. But the whole idea is if I'm sitting here playing games all day, almost every day, and that's the content I put out for work, I don't also want that to be my private life too. I want my private life to be anything but. So whether it's my wife and I are relaxing, watching a TV show together, listening to.
I think there's one certain game that you play. I mean, are we surprised? I mean, his hatred towards video games is very apparent. Also, just wanted to throw that in. Of course, we've gone into Q&A now at this point, because the first several minutes of this were all boo-hoo, I didn't have internet, this fucked up my whole day, I didn't know what the hell to do, ooh, Comcast. He does talk about DS politics here, but I'm so sick of talking about that. I'm so sick of listening to it. He talks about marble rivals again, and I can't stand him saying that, and a couple of other things. So I'm just going to try to skip around and see what I think was in some way, shape, or form interesting, because a lot of this was just so unnecessary. He would have done himself better if he would have just played a game.
All right, guys, so last chance to hang out, and if you want to just say anything or support the stream, like I said, I could only be around for about an hour tonight. I already started super late, so I'll hang out for like maybe 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes. So last chance to ask a question or contribute, and then I got to get out of here and get set up for tomorrow, which really sucks that I lost a day. It really does suck, but it's life. You deal with it, right? You roll with it. Thanks to those who did hang out here tonight quickly, and thanks to those who did contribute. At least we got half a goal tonight. We have hit the goal. We did it. We hit the goal. It means we're at 79 out of 80. Seriously, 79. We are 1 goal away from the Chick-fil-A DSP Tries It. So if someone right now, drops the 30 bomb of subs over on Kick, we will hit 2 goals, and we will do DSP Tries at Chick-fil-A tomorrow after Smark Guys. What I'll do is I'll do Smark Guys, go offline, go online on DSP Gaming, and we'll do the Chick-fil-A, which I would love to do for sure, because that's what we were planning on doing originally until I lost my internet today. All right? So who's going to drop the 30 subs over on Kick right now? And by the way, if you haven't done a 25 sub gift yet on Kick, you earn the VIP badge when you do that. Time is my biggest problem in my adult life.
Time is not the biggest problem, sir. You want to know what is your problem? Well, I mean, of many, because I actually know what it is. Time management and laziness are your biggest problems. You have the same number of hours in your day that the rest of us do, and unlike a lot of people, not everybody, but unlike a lot of people, you have a partner living in your home that can do lots of things for you that save you time. You're not cooking, you're not cleaning, doing laundry, doing dishes, you're not doing any of that shit. All you're doing is streaming for approximately 7 hours a day. That gives you 17 other hours to do other things. If you sleep for 8, that gives you 9 hours. Cut out sleep, cut out work. You have 9 hours a day to do things. But because you won't lift a finger outside of this room because you won't get paid, then yes, time is wasted.
I don't have enough time to do what everyone wants me to do. I can't play every game. I can't do a podcast while I'm also reviewing wrestling, while I'm also reviewing movies, while I'm reviewing TV.
All right, let's take this one at a time here, because he just kind of shits all this out. You cannot play every game. More than likely, no, you're correct, you can't. but you would be able to play more games if you had a smarter schedule. If you didn't waste time updating your leaderboard, telling everybody about the goals. You could do a podcast. I find the podcast completely meaningless, but if you're going to stick to that, if you insist, fine. But it needs to be 30 minutes at maximum and start earlier. You don't start your workday until nearly 11 o'clock in the morning, your time. Start at 9 a.m., 9 to 9:30, do a podcast. Also, stop doing Q&A. When you look in the camera, shrug your shoulders and go, well, we got 45 minutes of just sitting around with our thumbs up our asses. Let's do Q&A. That means your shit is too long. Get to the games already. You can review wrestling. You only do it one day a week. You'll have time for gaming. You could do a react show if you want. Or here's the thing, since you don't really want to do any of this stuff, just say you don't want to. I think people would legit respect you more if you just said that you didn't want to do it.
While I'm doing a politics show, while I'm trying to appear on other people's shows, but you want me to interview people on my show.
I don't think they want you to interview anybody. I mean, really, we already did that clown car circus, didn't we? You tried to shit on Craig, which didn't make you do anything but look like an asshole. You sucked Keemstar's dick, whoop-de-doo, good for you. You also don't do a politics show anymore. You wage quit it. I don't know about being on other shows. You haven't done that yet, so it hasn't taken any time out of your day. And if it did, how long would it be? An hour or two? And again, you can find the time for things that rake in the cash, like this Smark Guys. You have plenty of time, but you're too slow, disorganized, and lazy, flat out.
Don't have enough time. If I had more time, I'd be like, sure, I just don't have enough time. Okay? So sadly, no.
He used to do reviews, by the way. He used to review movies and stuff like that. But he's decided that financially it's not worth his time, which is fine. But the fact that he used to, and he still has the same amount of time, oh, look at that examining of whatever just came out of his ear. That's super fucking gnarly. But the fact that he used to have time, see, he just makes too much money now. It's why the Patreon shit went away. It's why the politics shit went away. He doesn't have to do all of this stuff because he gets more money doing shit like this.
I'm not going to be reviewing TV shows and movies and stuff like that. I just don't have the time for it. And it doesn't, like, here's the thing. If I reviewed a movie, right, and then the video took off and got 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 views and maybe some money, sure, then it's worth my time.
So you do have the time. What you are saying is that you don't want to work and put in the time for no money, which again, I'm not necessarily criticizing that. Nobody wants to work for free. I understand that. But don't say that you don't have any time when what you don't actually have is the audience and it's not financially worth your time. If that's what you're about, bro, then just say that's what you're about.
But no, it's not worth that to do it, upload, and get 500 views. It's a waste of time. Okay? If you take a look at DSP tries it.
So you have the time, but you won't. Again, that's fine, but I'm just reiterating because there's some revisionist history happening here that, oh, he doesn't have enough time. Sure he does, because he's done it before. And the amount of hours in a day, last I checked, has not fucking changed.
It's actually the most viewed content that I put out on the DSP Reacts channel.
It's because it's so
every single DSP tries it gets over 1,000 views.
Because it's so ridiculous, you idiot. Anyway, just some little gold dust sprinkled in here and there. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I don't want another, hour-long video. So it wasn't super particularly interested. The whole main point, the whole main takeaway for me was all of this weirdo foot sock business. And again, I'm not knocking what jiggles your jello. If you're into feet and all that stuff, hey, do you. Has nothing to do with me or anybody else. But I don't know who's trying to look at them nasty things that this man has going on, is what I'm saying. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I invite you to subscribe to the channel. If not, totally cool. I'm not your mom. Can't tell you what to do, but I hope to see you in the next one.